We're back on the morning drive, and we're back to you in a moment at 866 Pit Lane. First, we head to the hotline, talk some NASCAR Camping World Truck Series racing with the driver of the number 32 Chevrolet for Turner Motorsports. Blake Feese is in the house. Good morning, Blake.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Blake. How are things today with you?
Well, it's not raining, and I just pulled into the track, so things are looking up.
So you were able to, number one, make it through the fog and make it through the flooded tunnel from last night. Sounds like things were a little rough up there last night.
Well, the fog's not bothering me. I haven't got through the tunnel yet, so I think I'll be okay.
Well, we saw a picture of the tunnel. It looks like you better get a lifeboat to get into the infield, Blake.
Yeah, I saw that picture. Hopefully the rain holds off. We can get some practice in today.
Well, give us the thumbnail of New Hampshire Motor Speedway for you. What do you expect out of that racetrack, and what do you expect out of you and your team on Saturday, hopefully, if we can get this race in?
Well, I've never been here. I was able to watch in-car video from last year, and I can take a little bit from watching that. 1 mile flat oval. Probably, I think that's a track type that I've never been on. So, really want to get practice in today just so that I can get up to speed. The 32 team, Doug George, the Aqueduct guys, they've been doing a great job of unloading with a package each week that's fairly close. We were kind of off at Atlanta, and then they got it right for the race. So it's more about getting me up to speed, comfortable, and so today the practice is really important.
So let's ask you this question. When you go to a track that you've never gone to before, and you say you look at in-truck audio or look at in-truck video to prepare for the race, what does looking at that videotape or those replays tell you? What kind of sense can you get from what to expect when you do hit the track for the first time?
Well, about the only thing that you can do, you can hear where they are lifting off the throttle. You can kind of look at if their line changes during the race or just their line in general, and where they pick up the throttle, where they pass guys. And then the rest is just kind of, you sit there and watch each lap for the whole race. There's just a little bit of familiarity that comes along with that. So there's a little bit you can take from it. James Busher and Carmichael were good here last year. I can get a little bit of knowledge from them, but overall, you just have to go out and do it and feel it and then, get comfortable and get up to speed. So really, until you do it, there's not a whole lot you can do to prepare.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you on the mentor plan. You have some teammates there that you can lean on, obviously guys that have been around that racetrack. How difficult is it to sit and talk and kind of get input, versus being in the truck and actually having those laps on that racetrack?
Well, the best thing, something that, the most important is just laps,
right.
Seat time and reps. And it helps at the end of practice. If I'm feeling something that Ricky or James is feeling, then if they did something in practice that helped them, we know that, that's probably going to help us. So that's where that helps. But as far as advice or, they're doing this or that with their throttle or, really you can't go off of that as much as you just have to go out and feel it and get yourself comfortable and find the speed that we need.
How tough is it for you, Blake, with the schedule that you've had? It's not a full-time schedule. You're in, you're out. How do you stay sharp? How difficult a challenge has that been for you?
I don't think you do stay sharp. I think the last regular schedule I had was about 2002, and since then, you pick up opportunities and you go and you show up and you try to find speed. And I was thinking this morning, I think I've ran 5 truck races from 2005 until now. So, and really, you can't test. So you just have to show up and find speed. And with where we're at so far, the 3 races we've run this year, towards the end of practice, I start to get the track figured out, the truck figured out, and start to get that comfort. And then throughout the race, depending on the track and the week and how close we have the truck, the race is probably where I'm most comfortable. So we get to finish out the year here in the 32 truck. So that'll be the most consecutive races that I've had in a long time, and I'm looking forward to that because back-to-back, I can build confidence in the field, and then it helps working with Doug and feedback and making the right adjustments. So seat time's just really pretty crucial.
Let me ask you something. When you figure out that formula where you just show up and then find speed, forget the driving. You put that in a bottle, you sell it to everybody in the garage, you can retire.
Well, nobody's sold that yet, so I don't think if I found it, anybody'd be calling me to buy it.
Let's ask, though, about what you say you're going to finish the season in the 32 truck. Is this going to propel you onto something bigger and better for next year, 2012, perhaps maybe a full season schedule?
Well, that's the plan. That's everybody's goal. Mr. Turner's given me a great opportunity here to come in and drive for him and his wife Sandra, and with good guys and good equipment. So the goal is to get up to speed, run well, have some strong finishes, and get ready for next year. Like everyone else, a lot of it's depending on sponsorship, but we don't know. 2012 is still kind of up in the air, but we're hoping that we can finish out the year strong and get things put together and focus on a full season next year.
What is the plan the rest of the way, Blake, for you? How many more races are we going to see in the series?
For the rest of this year, I'm in all of them.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, we'll get to finish out the year in this truck.
All right. Well, good for you. Well, hopefully you'll have a nice day on Saturday and get that momentum going. We were talking a lot about momentum today. As a race car driver, how important is that? How important is it in terms of momentum and confidence to come off the track with a good finish and feel like, well, you got something in your back pocket when you go to the next track?
Yeah, confidence is really big. The guys that have done this a long time, that do it every week, I think the confidence stays at a fairly stable level. And the only way that I get confidence, and I think it's like this for most, is from racing and from getting good finishes. So when I'm not racing, that confidence level just naturally drops for no reason, really. Mm-hmm. When we ran fourth at Atlanta a couple weeks ago, that was a big boost of confidence for me. It was the first time that I felt that I had a truck under me that it kind of, a light bulb went off. This is what we need to feel. This is what we need to work towards in practice. So that was big. But just being able to come home with a solid finish, having a fast truck, that was a big confidence boost for me. Hopefully we'll take that into this weekend, and we'll see what we have in practice. If we're off in the first practice, confidence level will probably dip. But if we can get up to speed relatively quickly, then we'll be able to maintain that confidence level and hopefully have a solid day tomorrow.
Well, we wish you all the best getting the job done tomorrow in the FWM 175. I know it can be a pretty intimidating experience going to a track for the very first time and trying to achieve maximum results, but all the best to you and the team in trying to get that done and trying to get the most you can out of that 32 truck.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Blake.
Thank you. That is Blake Feese. He's going to be driving the number 32 Chevrolet for Turner Motorsports tomorrow in the FWM 175.